Evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have.
Hi, I'm Cole, playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, the ASMR Just Paladin now. Doing the old Oath of Glory business.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Hi, I'm Eric, who recently discovered a very large mosquito in this room, and I am playing Sirach, the Aarakocra Horizon Walker Ranger. I have a weapon. It's a bowl.
Well, I guess that makes me, Mars, playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout that just picked up his first level in Ranger.
Woo!
And I'm Kez, and I'm playing Treasure Nightcrafter, the Tiefling Fighter.
All right, guys. Nicely done. We have made it. We're back in the new year. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you, Megan and Eric, for running your show last week. You guys didn't get a chance to check it out. It is the first episode of the Archives because they are the Archivist. That is the team name. So very awesome with that. We are going to be making that a weekly show. So we're gonna put out a blast. Let you guys know when that's going to be. We're currently looking at Thursdays, early enough that it doesn't overlap with Critical Role and things like that. So please check that out if you ever have any questions about the game or what's going on or what's happened in the past or just want to talk to some of us. That's going to be our hanging out and doing the chitting and or chatting evening.
Please, we need more friends. Quarantine is rough.
It is rough.
Super.
It is rough. People are like, oh, there's no quarantine. You're like, nah, in Florida, when all the weird strains from across the world show up, and you're like, I'm going to hang out inside for a bit. We're just going to let y'all have a good time. So that's kind of the news on our front. We are looking into starting some new games this year, absolutely, and hopefully coming up soon. But we might be running some other special shows. If you're part of our Patreon, A to Z Monstrosities is going to be back this week. We do exclusive stream shows through YouTube to the Patreon, and you can catch them there. And what it is I'm going from the A to Z in the Monster Manual and creating mythic encounters for all of the monster entries. So if you are interested in updating your Monster Manual or bringing in some tougher enemies, some bigger bosses, a few more hit points and more danger and all of those sorts of things, then this is the show and or moment for you. Is there anything else that we need to mention and or hype? I'm not seeing it. Everybody seems. Yes, go, Eric. Go, do.
As always, I'll do a pitch for my beautiful, wonderful, amazing fiance has a YouTube page. If you are a music educator or a music educator, know a music educator, make sure to go to the YouTube page Ready Go Music, which has rhythm play-alongs and makes content for elementary music education for you to help teach in these quarantine times. These videos even work well for in-person teaching scenarios.
Awesome. Go ahead.
So they didn't point it out immediately on Crit Roll either, so I feel like there's a precedent for this. But I just want to let people know, if they didn't, that a certain DM and one of our favorite players, Miss Fable Frost, Caitlin, have decided to take a wonderful leap into adventure this year and got engaged. And honestly, fucking mazel tov, my dudes.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. So yes, thank you. That is very exciting as well. All right, before my embarrassment overtakes me, let's start the adventure, shall we?
Sam had to remind Matt and Marisha too, so I feel
Oh,
it's my job as a bard.
It is. You are fulfilling.
Fuck it. Hmm.
You are fulfilling your bardly duties. Well done. All right, guys, let's get into it, shall we? Our adventure takes place in the lands of Lichtdracht. They are lands of myth, of legend, lands filled with fate and destiny, where the reach of many gods is slim, to put it mildly, perhaps slimmer still. Our heroes had recently departed the town of Vlodensravikt, a river crossing town, rich with trade and culture that they had been through a number of adventures in, mostly dealing with the mad beholder Velxer, the nearby mountain range. After which, our own treasure Nightcrafter discovered that her past was catching up to her, and bounty hunters had begun to pursue her. Just recently, they were able to fight off a pair of pale brothers and drive them into retreat. And the following day, after coming into conflict with his patron and sentient weapon, one of the arms of the fated Dawnbringer, Olorun attempted to banish the light of Dawnbringer. That didn't go well.
Trying to put her in timeout. That was really all it was.
Yes, using your pact magic granted to you by the patron that you were trying to put in timeout.
I just tried to make my baby go to sleep by giving him Benadryl. That's all. I'm not a bad parent.
Just give them a lollipop soaked in bourbon. They'll be fine.
Apparently, Benadryl can make people hyper as well.
That's news.
Yeah. Oh, really? Does it happen to Kez? So yeah.
First time I ever had Benadryl, I was having a great allergic reaction, and my ex-girlfriend at the time looked at me and she goes, "Now be careful, this stuff's gonna knock you out." And I was a bigger guy back then, and I'm just like, "Look, it's gonna take more than one pill of this to knock me out." 15 minutes later, gone.
Yeah. Oddly enough, certain people do have the exact opposite reaction with Benadryl. Yeah, it is apparently pretty rare though. So, after coming to terms with Dawnbringer and having lost the access to his pact magic, our group began to hear the beating of drums or hooves in the distance, and listened ever so slightly as it grew louder. So that is where we are picking up. You guys are in camp. It is midday. You had stopped for lunch and had a bit of a row with a sentient artifact that is, I suppose, a bit testy at the moment. So, what would you guys like to do? That's what I need. I'm going to get us a little background music.
Can we figure out how far away that rumbling is?
Why don't you guys do me a favor? Make me perception checks, and then after I get those totals, use your passive perception as the floor, and then I'll probably need some survival checks as well. But let's get perception first. Go ahead and roll that. Yeah, use your passive as the floor, and then if you guys wouldn't mind giving it to me in order while I set up some background music, because like I said, we are professionals. We clearly know what we're doing and haven't forgotten to do the simple and important things of life. What'd you get, Olaroon?
9.
9. Okay. That's your passive perception. That's your floor.
Oh, my passive is a 10. My floor is a 10. It's just literally one higher. So I'm not the most wisdomous of people.
Your past choices do not prove that at all.
Oh, really? Ah.
So right.
18.
Nice. Eric.
Rolled a 12, but my passive floor is 21. So
Okay.
Got a 24.
Nice.
15.
Okay. So let me have. I will have the Saride, Tarak, and Talroth give me survival checks.
what kind of land are we in?
Great grass plains.
Okay, not one of mine. Ooh, 9.
9.
22.
Hey,
Okay.
good. Take it.
So you guys, with your perception checks, you know that they're more than 2 miles away. The day is pretty clear, and the grass wall, while it does get a bit high, waist height, maybe hip or rib height in some places, it is not. It's not a forest, right? It's not that large. There are some hills, but they are few and far between, right? On a clear day, your line of sight in a flat area is about 2 miles, and you guys do not see them. You do know that it is the sound of the drums is coming from the northwest. You can tell by the nature of it. Talroth, you can tell that it seems to be moving in a northeastern direction. So if you guys continue straight north, you may run across them. But as far as it does not sound like they are heading immediately in your direction. So generally a little bit, like they will get a little louder, but the wind that is blowing in from the west is carrying that noise with it, and those drums must be pretty loud.
Well, we were all planning on skedaddling a bit more to the north, weren't we? Looks like we might be running into them probably on the sooner rather than later. Unless we want to slow down, maybe speed up.
Well, do you want to run into them? Because I feel like they're coming our way.
Well, if we are going to run into them, I prefer having it a little more on our own terms as opposed to letting them kind of get the better of us.
All right. Before we go, she'll walk up to Talroth and clean something off of him. A nice gesture. And 4th level cure wounds. Because I can't roll for shit, so. Except this one time, 30.
That puts me back to full. Right, thank you kindly, Saride. That was very helpful.
Well, I'm nothing if not helpful. Is everyone else feeling all right? Treasure, you okay?
I'm crispy, but I'm fine.
She'll give you a healing word. Dwi Aishikti Dwi Aganti.
Wait, someone's got tea?
It's Elvid. It's the one thing she always says. You know what it means.
I mean, that's a good point. I do speak that language, so I definitely know that. But maybe for the other
Apparently,
people,
she's offering it to Treasure now too. So
I'll tell you.
Hey, Sirach, you got a second?
Yeah, many seconds. What do you need?
Well, have a bit of a feeling that things might get a little hairy coming up with these centaurs pretty soon. I was wondering if it might be all right with you if I got those blades of House O'Rain back, because I have a feeling if things go down, I'm gonna need to haul ass in and out of them, and I'd rather not get tagged.
Oh, yeah. And he'll go like to either side and like unclip the swords and like kind of hold them real quick and kind of like look over the scabbards and the symbology and the runes and their planar nature, and he'll be like, yeah, here you go.
Well, thank you very much. Now, I ain't gonna keep these away from you. Say, I'm perfectly fine just, at least between the two of us, just when we need them, we use them. It's just since I tend to get a little up in things' faces, yeah, these might be a little more useful than the big old clunker I'm carrying around right now.
Oh no, I believe me, I perfectly understand it. He'll go to put a arm on your shoulder, and then he can't quite get all the way up there, so he just puts it on
I'll
the
lean
side of
down
your
a little
arm.
bit, like get onto a
And
knee.
He'll look at you and just be like, you take care of this, and remember all the things I've taught you about nature. You got this. I believe in you. And also don't die, because like I only have a few times that I can heal a person, so like let's not use that up.
Very sound advice. I will do my best to not die.
No, but
Well, I mean, if things go well, then we might not even need to fight. This is more just that, I don't know, backup plan kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, let's hope it goes better than me with those hobgoblins.
Yeah, been meaning to ask you, what in the hell happened that you pissed them off so bad they started chasing us all down?
Okay, so like I got to them, all right, and they were like, "Hey, I like your swords," and I was like, "Thanks, they're pretty great swords," and they were then like, "How about you give them to us?" And I was like, "No, I don't think that's amenable." And then they're like, "Well, what about all the people you got over there?" Sorry, the voice was hurting me. "What about all the people that are over there?" And I was like, "Oh no, they don't have anything. They're my posse. I'm the big shot. I was trying to protect you guys." And then they basically told me they were taking the swords. And that's when I did the best idea that I could think of at the time, which was run. Just pieced out of there as best I could. And then it went south.
Well, it was a damn good thing you were able to get your ass out of there in one piece and them not getting these very fine blades.
Indeed.
I mean, hell, I can't even think of what we all would have had to go through. I mean, if they managed to get them, us having to fight them to get them back. But hey, we got away. We're alive. We're good.
Yeah. I don't want to do that again. That was particularly scary. I'm not going to lie. That was not the smartest thing I've ever done, and I don't think I'm going to venture into that sort of thing again anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know what you mean on that one. I've tried to lie before. I've tried to twist words around, but uh, somehow people just get all mad and upset, and somehow say people think I was groping them, and when Wyatt and all this shit. I don't know. It's like talking's hard.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Talking's real hard. All right. Well, we're gonna meet up with these things now, right? Like we're gonna head to them.
Well, I have a bit of a keen interest in them, so now it's just going to be a matter of seeing if everyone else wants to follow suit or if these guys decide to turn around and meet us.
All right.
I have a question. Can I ritual cast things?
Have you taken the ritual caster feat?
Nope. Okay.
Can bards not ritual cast?
Isn't there sorry.
I don't know. I thought it was only like clerics and druids and paladins that could.
Bards can ritual cast if the spell has a ritual tag, yes.
And it had okay.
So there you go.
I would like to ritual cast comprehend languages,
Okay. So
just in case horsies neigh different.
Sure. Okay. So so you sit and begin playing at your instrument. Yep, there you go. And as the notes carry through the air, after about 10, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that, of this haunting sort of tune as the strings ring clear, your ears begin to sort of feel warm and tingle and adjust just a bit as words begin to take on a more the context comes through far clearer. You begin to understand. So yeah, no problem. What is the duration on?
An hour.
Okay, sounds good. Now what are you guys up to?
Like packing up camp and getting ready to head out, I guess.
Okay.
Have we decided which are we gonna be headed towards the hoofbeats? Or are we towards the drums, or are we headed towards a different direction?
And I'm kind of thinking maybe head towards it, but kind of anticipate where they're going to be going, so we just kind of meet paths with them instead of ended up having to chase them.
All right. I mean, I'm fine with that. What's everyone else think?
That sounds fine.
Larune's like, am I allowed to talk? This is kind of my fault. So, yeah. So, I just, I think we should try and go about our business as best we can. We were looking for them anyway, weren't we?
Yeah, at least with what I've heard, it's more of a rumor that they might have the blade, but it's probably the closest rumor that I've heard across anything.
Well, then at least we have a place to start. So, just try and be respectful and handle this as diplomatically as possible, I guess.
And if things turn south, you want to try putting your sword in timeout in the middle of them again? See what happens?
No, I'm not doing that again. That's a really bad idea.
Okay, good. Glad we're all on the same page. And I'll just clap him on the shoulder.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, Yeah.
You guys pack up your camp. You begin to head just directly north, moving on a path that you know you're gonna intersect with them a bit. As you are traveling, you begin to hear more of those drum beats. The carry on the wind. They are a little louder, and you can hear them with like the heavy bass and undertones of the hoofbeats. It is a steady sort of almost lulling rhythm that carries along the wind. At first, it was unsettling, but at this point, there is something just sort of primal about it that helps sort of keep the pace of the travel. You guys are traveling for. Somebody roll me a d4. Two? Okay, great. You guys are traveling for the first hour. You do hear it. You kind of hear where from your survival ability and you guys' high perception checks and passive perceptions and things like that, you know that whatever this group is has sort of crossed in front of you, and you're beginning to see them sort of on the horizon. It does seem like they had taken just a slightly sharper path than you guys had probably initially anticipated, or they adjusted. And you can tell that they're actually, you guys are traveling pretty close to the river. You said about eye shot away. So again, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles to the river. And coming towards the end of the second hour, you can now see them. They're maybe half a mile off. They have come to the river. With your passive perceptions, you can see that there are a few things happening. One, it looks like there's a group of maybe a couple of dozen horse riders or centaurs. It's difficult to tell at this distance. That are by the river. The business that they're doing is difficult to tell at this distance, but you do see them sort of milling about. You also notice that there are some of them seem a little agitated, but their focus is not on you guys, which are to their south. There's something to the north, across the river. The river's pretty wide, remember, but this is one of those narrower portions of it that seems to be have caught their attention. Seems to have caught their attention.
So they're how far from us right now?
How far do you want them to be? I was going to say about half a mile. Give you guys, if in case there was anything you guys wanted to do on the approach, we can be closer to like 500 feet, if because you are approaching them.
So I will. I'll turn to the rest of the group. Do we want to head over there, or 'cause I don't necessarily know what's going on. I could signal our coming in a very obvious way to make it so that, which may be a good idea.
Talroth, do you want them to know what you're looking for?
That's a pretty damn good question. Thing is, I don't know if this is going to be the exact pack or troop. What do you call a group of centaurs anyway?
Herd, I want to say.
Herd?
Well,
Yeah,
of
let's go.
course we heard of them. They're right there.
Well, you know what? Herd sounds good. So, I mean, I don't know if this herd even has a blade or if they know of the blade, but. So, question for the DM.
Mhm.
Would there be some kind of check I can make to see if I would know one of the, like, if there's any sort of proper way to approach centaurs to kind of show them that we don't, it's like we're not here to kill them, but it's more of a, hey, we want to talk, or
You want to
something
keep your hand flat and together so that they don't bite your fingers when you offer them the sugar cube.
Make a history check.
I'm shutting up now. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're all good. If he can do a herd joke, you can do a sugar
Yeah.
cube joke.
Entirely free game.
I nat one, but it's a total 7.
No, you are not sure. All the reputation that you know about centaurs is they are, well, perhaps in you know, the legends of them from the Feywild are filled with sort of noble stories, but your own experience with them is purely the brutality of a war band tearing through your village.
Oh, wait. Centaurs are fey creatures?
Some are. Eric, if you want to make me a history check.
Okay, just because fey is one of my favorite enemies. That's why I was like, okay.
Yeah, go for it. Oh.
Hey! Yeet! Natural 20.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be, oh, good, for a 21.
Extraplanar centaurs from the Feywild or from Arcadia, the plane, not the former strait of water. They are fey. They are considered fey creatures. Terrestrial centaurs are far enough removed from them that they are more akin to monstrosities. They do not have the air of wild fey magic on them, but they do still commonly speak Sylvan and Elven, and occasionally one of them is a little more ascendant, right? So it's the same way that like elves are fey, but only when they're from the Fey Wild.
So with that information, we can assume that the ones who ransacked Tauros Town weren't fey. They were probably terrestrial centaurs.
Yes, they're probably more akin to monstrosities.
Okay, and these guys, can we determine from this point if they look like they are more fey or more terrestrial?
Probably not at this distance, because you're just kind of seeing their outlines and moving. It does seem, I would say, with a natural 20, I'll go ahead and give you, they're 99% terrestrial.
All right, so I'll say so there are two different like types of centaurs. You have your like centaurs who are kind of like essentially from the Feywilds, and you have your centaurs who are basically from here, in a sort of sense. And these look like they're centaurs who are kind of from this area, not necessarily from like other places. So they're probably a little bit more, a little bit less talking to and a little bit more raw.
So you're saying we should be ready to throw down if it comes down to it?
Like, the terrestrials, I don't want to make like an all centaur sort of thing, but like the terrestrial centaurs are a little bit more, they're a little bit more combative. They're not as like they're not as much of a community, let's say, as like the Fey Centaurs. Like they're not like, you know, they're just more monstrosities. They're more akin to like monsters that we've fought. So like just to be careful about that. That could they could see us and just immediately it's time to go.
What did the rest of y'all think? Think we should try making nice and saying hi, or maybe start having Treasure run over, try to suplex one of them?
We want information from them, yes.
Well, can't those make one of them talk after they're dead? Or is that something that he can't do?
He's not a necromancer. But, okay, so you need information, and they seem to be a little bit more interested with something across the river. Perhaps we could offer our services?
Not a bad idea.
Is the friend of my enemy my friend or my enemy?
Was that a trick question, or do you need an answer?
Oh, honey, she's just gonna pet him.
As you
So am I
guys,
throwing horses or what?
Not yet.
I want to emphasize the yet.
So I do speak Elvish and Sylvan, so if at any point we can get close enough that I can see their mouths moving, I can kind of see what they're saying.
okay. As you guys continue to make your approach, your wagons traveling in the line. Let's say you guys are in the first wagon up front. Maybe the others are hanging back. Who's driving the cart?
Yeah, one of the Dexy people.
I've been studying vehicle proficiencies in my off time, so
Okay.
I don't
Alright.
have it fully yet, but I'm getting there. So.
But you're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because-
appreciate the irony of the bird that can fly studying land vehicle proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He understands y'all are. He understands y'all need some help. So.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, as you guys are making your way up at about 1,000 feet, you notice that. So the tribe that is there, there's probably 2-3 dozen of them. Some of them are smaller. There are some kids. There are some.
Souls.
Yeah, some women, although the women look as sturdy and combative, let's say, as the men in the tribe. But they're doing what looks like either some fishing and a little bit of maybe like some laundry. They're filling water jugs. They're kind of here for just like river use, mostly. You can tell that almost all of them, even the kids, seem to have small blades on them. And there is a contingent of warriors that are sort of standing guard on the northern shore in this little bend that they are at. As they notice that you're not changing direction, you are approaching them at about 1,000 feet. A group of about 6 of them turn to the south and begin riding to approach you. As they come riding up, you can see that they primarily wield spears and halberds, polearm sort of weapons. You can tell that they have short bows, each of them slung along their backs, with quivers on near their front haunches. And they are making this approach at a pretty quick speed. They are definitely faster than your horses pulling the carts.
As they're approaching, I would slow the cart down a little bit to
Okay.
not show any sort of hostility. Just slow it down so that way we know they're coming.
Okay. Yeah. So you begin to slow down a bit. There is a female of the tribe. You can see she's the only one that doesn't seem to be wielding a polearm of any kind. You can see she's got these heavy axes, and one of the axes is almost more like a shovel head, like a great sort of bladed spade. But they're short-hafted weapons, and as she rides up, what her hand is on one of them. Her hair is long and black and thick to the follicles, and along the sides of her head, it is shaved, so it looks all the more like a mane. And the hair stretches down her back, down the spine of her humanish back. They come riding up, and at about most of the others have their bows drawn but not knocked, and they'll stop at about 50 feet from you, and you hear her sort of, what is your business with us?
I'm going to lean over to Talroth and say, do you mind?
I'll just kind of lean back. By all means, because words are hard.
She's going to bamf 30 feet so she doesn't scare them because she's in winter.
Okay.
And then walk up 10.
Seeing you teleport, when you teleport, they all sort of, most of them rear, the ones in the back, right? The other 5 that are with a mix of male and female, sort of rear up. They don't quite ninny, but there is a more primal sort of guttural, almost woeing or vocalization, right, that comes with it, that you sort of instinctually know is a like warning in and among them. And the lead female doesn't seem phased or moved, but the others have reached for arrows. Almost as quickly as you teleport, they are armed and ready. But she raises a hand. They remain unconvinced, but placid for the moment.
Her hands are up.
Mm-hmm.
On her way, she's gonna put like salve on her lips.
Okay.
Just chapstick up a little bit, get some gloss on those bad boys.
Okay.
And cast Fey Aspect.
Okay. What does that do?
So you surround yourself with varying illusions, enhancing your natural charismatic attributes for the duration of the spell, which is a minute, but it's a cantrip and I can cast it at will, so do with that what you will.
Okay.
She's going for calming. You exude an aura of calm, almost giving off a comforting light as you smile. You double your charisma bonus on charisma persuasion checks.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Super glossy. Hey, guys. So she's up and she's, I apologize if I startled you, but we didn't want to waste your time in trying to travel to meet you. I'm an emissary for the scion of House Oakenblade. How can we help you?
Make a persuasion check.
thing.
So what is it?
So I rolled a 2.
Okay.
That means I double. Oh, I just doubled the charisma bonus.
You double the charisma bonus.
So I add 13 to it, so 17.
So 15.
Wait, hold on. So it was an 8 plus 5 is 13 plus 2 is 15. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
So just 15.
Just 15. Okay. Well, you,
On a 2.
on a 2. So, as you're speaking, the you can see the muscles in the others sort of relax a little bit, although the leader herself doesn't seem tremendously impressed. She does sort of what you can do for us is tell us what business you have, or keep a wide berth. And she'll motion out across the plains.
Planes away from the river.
Yeah.
We are traveling this way on business for House Oakenblade. Is there a way that we can get passage through your tribe?
My tribe is not. We are not escorts. Nor do we have business with any house. You can tell she doesn't really get House Oakenblade, like that's sort of doesn't click for her. So unless you have business, be safest for you if you kept your distance.
Just one small question.
Mm-hmm.
Would the rest of us be close enough to hear this conversation?
Yeah, she's speaking loudly and clearly. Yeah, it is not. She's making no effort to hide what's going on.
I'm gonna kind of lean over to Talroth and be like, maybe you should say something.
Yeah, I was thinking, excuse me. So I'll hop off the cart
Mm-hmm.
and start making my way over, not trying to stealth or hide. I'll actually take the hood down
Mm-hmm.
so that way they can see I'm just coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He's real.
When he comes up, I'm going to bow, grab his hand, and touch it to my head and say, "My lord," and cast inspiration on him.
Okay.
As he's walking up, can I go ahead and like just put my hand on his shoulder and cast enhance ability, and give him Eagle Splendor? Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. So
That's
now-
advantage on charisma?
Mhm.
An advantage on charisma checks. 'Cause Lord knows you're gonna need it.
All right, so I'll walk up, hood down. I know you said that you don't have much business to do with the House Oakenblade, but perhaps you might be able to at least point us towards the direction of those who might have. Perhaps some decades in the past at one point.
The hold on one sec. she looks back at her team, and they're sort of, you hear she kind of turns just a little bit. One of them comes up, and you guys can, your passive perceptions are high enough. The three of you, I'd say the two of you with the lower ones, apologies. They are speaking in Sylvan. So if you understand Sylvan, or comprehend languages, you can understand what they're saying. The conversation goes something like this: Do you know what they're talking about? No. Is this with the houses? The houses are an odd thing for them. You gather just from context, being sort of a nomadic tribe. The Sylvan word for house, and very much has a connotation of permanence. It's not just like a domicile, but it is of Sylvan and Fey origin, and so we're talking like something that stood since the dawn of time, right? And you know, like that's long lived for elves or Fey elves. You know what I mean? Like, and so they're like, yeah, we don't have any of that. We don't want it. We don't need it. I don't really get what they're talking about. And then the one that she's talking to sort of goes, maybe they mean the river town. You can kind of piece together that river town is Vloden Stravect. No. Tribes haven't been to the river town in 4 or 5 generations. They're sort of kind of racking their brains about it, and her confidant, let's call him, sort of goes, you think they mean the broken place? Oh, maybe. I guess so. The word that they use for a broken place in Sylvan is much more akin to like ruins, but it has sort of a subtle hint of burnt down with it, associated with it, right? It's sort of the way you would describe Chernobyl, right? A place that is damaged and hurt, but also suffered, and nobody lives there anymore, right? There is a connotation of pain in the land itself, which Sylvans would sort of have words for, right?
Does that sound like something we know on the map?
You can make a history check if you would like, and so they're kind of,
Crater, maybe.
huh?
Sorry, thinking aloud.
You're good.
As they're talking
Mhm.
and they start mentioning about the broken place, I'll probably take one step closer and start speaking in Sylvan to
Okay.
show them I can understand you.
Okay.
Perhaps it might be a little clearer if I might explain a bit of the story of what I'm searching for.
They look a little surprised. Not that you could understand them. They weren't trying to be terribly stealthy about it. But they also seem slightly impressed that you speak Sylvan. So you earn a little bit of their attention and a little less incredulity. And she sort of holds her hand up at her confidant. All right then, explain.
All right, so I'll just hold a hand up, slowly reach behind and take the double-bladed sword off my back,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of put it down on the ground in front of me.
So the double-bladed scimitar that you have there, tell us about it. What does it look like?
This is the one that I had asked Thozen to make a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just so I can start getting back into practice with it, because just had that sneaking suspicion the skill might be handy. It's not the exact look of the one that was broken,
Mm-hmm.
but just based on notes and drawings that I was able to show those, and it's a close replica.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the exact details. It doesn't have any of the runes. This one doesn't have any magic, but at least the handle that's connecting the blades has a very like a woodworked kind of woven lattice pattern to it
Mm-hmm.
that would have been very similar to the original one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As they as you hold it up and sort of show it to them, they kind of eye it, and they there's a air of recognition, definitely in the leader's face, and she sort of, okay, and her confidant leans over, and is like, they want a younger Sukling. Yeah, a longer Suki. It's not a Sylvan word. You get the feeling it's a name or a title. And she goes, that's only one tribesman. Well, carries a blade like that now.
Is it safe to ask, does the pommel, the bottom of the blade, does it look to be broken, like it's missing a piece?
Yes. Yes.
It would be very much in our best interest if I were to have a conversation with him.
Well. Radhavan Ayanga is who you speak. Radhavan Ayanga would be the third to carry that blade. That is the Windcutter's blade. Blade of thundering hooves. The leader of all tribes carries that blade.
Well, since it seems that there's a bit of history with that blade with your tribe, would you be opposed to at least my companions and I having a bit of a meal with you?
This exact moment, you guys hear that whinny, that primal guttural, cautionary sound. You hear it echoing. The drums have stopped, and you guys had seen that there were people sort of drumming there, and behind them, you see a scattering of those on of all those with hooves, as they begin to run from the shoreline, and breaking out of the shoreline and carrying itself up and over onto the shore. You see this massive reptilian terror, huge teeth nearly the size of a halfling, and behind it, further to the north, another one. And you can see that one of them was wrapped up in nets, And the second one is not, and is sort of breaking through on the northern banks, and now beginning to sort of run deeper into the grasslands as though it's trying to cut off the tribesmen's escape. And then not too far from you, about 150 feet, a third up and out of the water. The terrifying scream shakes you to your core. It vibrates everything along the grasses, and she curses in common because Sylvan doesn't have proper curse words. The blades are drawn, the arrows are quickly knocked, and you hear one of them scream at her, 3! Never seen 3 of the terror lizards. Matters not, we came for 1, we'll take them all. And you can hear they start arguing about how many people are about to die. For anybody that would like a reference, this is about... it is definitely huge. It's going to say about 20 feet tall, a little more, 25. Bigger, giant size. Could rival most giants. Huge haunches, massive tail, but the true terror is the front jaw. A lizard, like a Thunder King of a lizard, and tiny, tiny front arms. Yeah, big head, tiny arms.
Little arms.
Did you say it had teeth the size of halflings?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Also, just for before we lose it, I realize we're now about to fight some dinosaurs, but you asked me for a history check on Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I rolled a nat 20 for 25.
Reminds you of Baklev.
For later.
Yeah.
Reminds me of what?
The ruins of Baklev.
That's what I thought. Okay, fuck.
Okay.
We spring into action. Or at least I spring into action.
Let's yeah, go ahead. Let's flip for initiative.
Oh, what else is new, guys? New year, same stuff.
My thunder lizards can. Okay, they're gonna act last. So it's pretty much you guys. If you want to, I know 3 of you had jacks. I don't know what Saride had. So.
Saride had a 9.
Okay, so Talroth, Treasure, the Rock. I'm gonna say that the closest one to you guys is 150 feet away. I'm gonna put the let's see, for my centaurs. The centaurs are gonna actually act first, and they immediately abandon you. They don't care. They turn, and they're dashing in sort of a circular way. You can see, like, she's probably the leader of this small group, and she's shouting orders and commands, and you can see them sort of scattering. Some of them, the ones that had been doing like the fishing in the nets that are caught up in that central T-Rex are being whipped about like they're nothing. Just being like tossed around. You can see some of them have crashed into each other. At least one of them has broken a leg, and so it is a terrifying scene immediately. So, what would you like to do?
I think Talroth, you'll be first, right?
Oh, I was just asking. You said they're about 150 feet away
To the closest one. So essentially, they were down on the river, right? They were doing their river business, and you kind of got the feeling they knew that T-Rexes kind of came here to water and to drink. Sometimes they swim across the river, and you so for whatever reason, they were kind of watching and waiting for something like this to happen. They expected one. They ended up with three. And the three are doing the, to steal from another dinosaur, they're doing the clever girl. The, right? Yeah. So, that's, in simple layman's terms, that's what's happening.
So, quick point of order. Who is within 10 feet of me?
I would say Sirach and Treasure.
Okay. So the two of them, you have 10 extra feet of movement while you're within 10 feet of me because of my aura of alacrity and the combination of Dawnbringer. So,
Cool.
Nice.
at least until you get out of my aura.
Yeah.
All right, Talroth, what's up?
I'm just gonna kind of look back at everybody, look at Saride. Fuck. And I'm gonna start running, kind of following them. Just kick up the double-bladed first, and just get ready.
Okay. How far so you're running at the Southern T-Rex? Are you dashing? How far are you going?
I'm just gonna go my normal movement first.
Okay.
So I'm not going to dash yet, but I'm going to use the action to kind of put the double-bladed back, and shit, would I have brought my short bow with me? Let me see, odds or evens? Nope.
Okay.
Short bow is on the cart.
Okay. So you take off, what's your speed? 30, 35?
35.
35. Okay. You take off 35 feet. Any other actions?
Just dodge action for now, just in case.
Okay. All right.
But mostly I'm just waiting for everyone else to kind of catch up.
Okay. Dodge action. Got it. Sirach.
Using my extra 10 feet of movement, I'm going to just straight from the cart, just start running. But the moment that my feet are not touching ground and I'm 5 feet up, my wings are just out and I'm flying.
Okay.
And I'm using my 50 feet, it's 60 feet
Yep.
with Olorun, which gets me within 90 feet, which is how far I need to be to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
So thank you for that. And I will cast Hunter's Mark on the Southern T-Rex.
Okay.
And then I will attack twice with my Vicious Longbow.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, damn. First one is going to be a 14.
14 does hit.
Ah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is going to be a 28.
That'll hit as well.
Cool. So that is 2d6 and 2d8. So that's 8, 16, 17, plus 8 for 23 points of damage.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Sounds good. Sirach, Treasure.
Okay. Of the three, you said there's one that's within 150 feet of us.
Yep.
But I'm also interested, knowing Treasure how she is, which one and how far is the one that's like really tearing up people?
I will say probably another 50 feet past that one. So 200 feet to the center, to Center Rex. And then Northern Rex, maybe another 50 feet.
Okay, Center Rex. How many people are on Center Rex?
Ooh,
Does it look like they more or less have that handled, or they do not have that handled?
they have not rallied yet. So they have been sort of shocked and scattered. Some of them are look like they're shooting at it. Some of them have sort of fallen and been knocked over and pushed around. So they are yet to rally.
Cool. I'm going to try to cut off because obviously I'm from where I'm at, which is fairly far back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to keep Southern Rex from getting anywhere near Center Rex to give them a chance to rally.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're gonna take off dashing, sort of
Bolt.
around. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So 60 feet. So you're 90 feet from Southern Rex, and you're trying to circle around to the north side of it to be between it and Center Rex.
It just puts something in between
Yeah.
those
Absolutely.
two, which will give the centaurs a chance to rally. And
Mhm.
just gonna go ahead and stand my ground there.
Okay. Sounds good. Saride.
I'm going to cast Dimension Door
Okay.
to get to the other side, to get to the one that's 150 feet away.
Okay.
Before I go, I'm grabbing Talroth, and he's coming with me.
So Talroth is 35 feet away from you.
I thought he was...
He moved 35 feet.
Then I'm using my movement to get to Talroth,
Okay.
and then I am dragging his unwashed ass all the way up to that dinosaur.
Okay.
Excuse you, but the month already passed. The shower was last week.
We'll leave the vomit in the dimension.
Okay. So you teleport. Where do you want to be in relation to Southern Rex? Do you want to be within like 5 feet melee? Do you want to put Talroth there and you be 5 feet behind him? Where? Okay.
Yes, because he needs to be in melee. But
Yes.
if I'm in 5 feet, he gets sneak attack.
So you're both going to be within melee of the.
Yeah, because I'm dumb,
Okay. All right.
but I'm awful pretty.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
watching the two squishiest people that we have just disappear from in front of me and directly at that thing.
Yeah. Well, you went flying past them, and then suddenly, in a flash of lavender light, there's Talroth and Saride, right at the foot of the T-Rex.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
you're
message back. I'm gonna bonus action message back to him on your left.
There's just gonna be, you're gonna hear just a far off.
So yeah, I mean, technically not the way message works, but for the joke, we allow it today.
Mhm.
I don't want the chat in the back to. That's not how message works. Yeah, we know how message works. It's fine.
And I'll just snarkily yell it over my shoulder.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my
On
god.
my left.
Okay, Olaroon.
Okay, finally. Look, I'm just tired of getting 5s, 6s, 7s, and 3s. It's the worst. So I am going to first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my action to bust out the wings, baby.
Okay.
It's
Copycat.
flying Olaroon time. And then I am going to I can't dash, but I'm going to go as far as I can to
Okay.
Move towards the southernmost guy, and I believe and then as a bonus action I will cast let's see, I will cast Searing Smite on my sword
Okay.
on Dawnbringer,
All right.
and that will end my turn.
Sounds good. On the dinosaurs' turns, you can see the ones that are the northern one. We'll just go from north to south. Chomps down on one of the centaurs and sort of, tosses it up and almost like it's playing with its food, kind of ragdolls. Ragdolls him around. The blood begins to spray. People are screaming and running, and then it whips its tail around and knocks over a couple of more, knocking them prone. Center Rex is going to miss with the bite, but it does catch one of the smaller centaurs and with the tail, and you can see them sort of get thrown back. And the centaurs are not small either. They're they're large creatures. They're horse size, so they're getting tossed about. And Southern Rex is going to bite. It'll bite at evens is Talroth, odds is Saride. Odds, so it's going to bite at Saride. That is a 13 plus 10, 23.
When you said 13, my heart lifted because my armor class is 14 now.
Oh.
So like a nice little volleyball spike, up and down, my dude.
I'm sorry.
Well, the good news is, Thozin's gonna kill you all if I die tonight. By if I mean when, because I didn't heal myself.
Okay. So
Hey.
that is 4d12 plus 7. That is 14, 20, 31 plus 7, 38 points of damage. And,
Unconscious.
okay. And you are grappled and restrained. And then with its tail, it's going to whip its tail around and try to tail whip Talroth. 4 plus 10 for 14.
Nope.
Okay. That is it for the Thunder Lizards. New round. All right, Thunder Lizards are on a 4. I saw an ace. Looks like it's Talroth, Olaroon, and then people can tell me what happens after that. Rock. All right.
The only time I ever draw high is when I'm making death saves.
Mm-hmm. What did you draw, Saride?
King.
King? Oh, there it is. Yeah. King. Okay, Talroth.
All right, I was not expecting to get put like right next to Big Ugly here, and all of a sudden Saride is airborne.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Is there anybody else that would be threatening the T-Rex? Or am I just kind of on my own with it?
At this point, you are on your own.
Okay. Is it possible to try to climb up on its back to distract it? Or something? Like to get on top of it to try to get to its head?
Yeah, so it is large enough that you can attempt to climb it. It is athletics because you have to hold on to it as it's moving around, sort of bucking bronco style. Not quite bucking bronco, but you get where I'm going with this. So yeah, you can make an athletics check.
And would that be my action or the movement?
We can make it part of your movement.
Okay.
It is going to be considered difficult terrain, though.
All right, so athletics is going to be a... I might still have inspiration.
I believe you do.
do.
And that's a D8 or D6?
8.
Okay, so that would be a total 18.
Okay. Yeah, so you, as the tail sort of slaps into you, you catch a little air, you grab a hold of one of its haunches and start trying to climb up. You get sort of onto its back, You can take a dash action to get over to its head, but right now you're on its back. Sort of crouched down. You've got like your feet underneath you, so you're not prone. You've got one hand on it, probably the other hand on your weapon. So yeah.
Yeah, and for this one, I'm just going to pull out the saber from the Blades of House O'Rain, dash to go up, and if I can, sorry, beard hair.
You're okay.
So yeah, if I can make an attack, I'm just gonna at least try to jab the saber into something soft and squishy that is not Saride.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, that is a 16 plus 8. That's a 24 to hit.
24 does hit. Yes.
All right, and using my new favorite foe ability from the Ranger, it's going to let me do an extra D4 on the hit, so that is a total.
Dinosaurs are your favored foe?
Oh, since I went with the optional or the replacement class feature for the Ranger from Tasha's. Let me read the ability.
Yeah, please. I'm excited to see new stuff. Please don't take my my questioning as doubting. I haven't been full. I don't fully know everything on
I
Tasha's
understand
anymore.
This favored foe pretty much replaced favored enemy.
Okay.
So when I hit a creature with an attack roll, I can mark them as a favored foe for 1 minute or until I lose concentration.
Okay.
The first time on each of my turns that I hit them, including the turn I mark it, I can do an additional 1d4 damage. I can only do it 3 times per day for now.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, what's the total damage on it?
Total damage is going to be 13.
Nice. Okay. Anything else, Talroth?
Unless I can clench my ass cheeks to hang on tighter.
No, I don't think that's a bonus action. All right, we've got Meg. Oh, hold on. So dealt 13 points of damage. Okay, so it has not let go of Saride. It has not been sufficiently distracted from its meal to drop her.
Thank God. I think. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
3. All right, that's one failure. Okay. Who's up next?
After Meg King is going to be me on a 10.
Queen Olaroon.
Yeah, I had a queen.
Oh, Queen. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, how far away am I from it? I can't reach him in this turn, right?
I don't think so. You traveled 30 feet.
40.
40 feet. Okay, good to know. You traveled 40 feet. It is 110 feet. So if you dash, you'll be within 30 feet.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to I'm gonna move another I'm gonna fly forward another 40 feet.
Okay.
And start to kind of like move up a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of like aiming towards the mouth of the guy that's got Saride.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast, because he's that's the one Talroth's climbing on top of, right?
Yeah.
Talroth?
Yes.
the one
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt
Okay.
at first level
Okay.
on that guy.
Okay. Let's
So
do it.
here we go. 26 to hit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. So that is not bad, not bad. 12 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And he is lit up like a Christmas tree,
Nice.
which means someone should be getting sneak attack next time they stab it.
Okay. After that,
Um,
the rock.
Sirach is. Oh no, it's the next attack that hits him gets it, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be my attack.
Oh well, it is what it is at this point in time.
Yeah, He's 90 feet away from me, right?
Yep.
And I can only. God damn it! I can only get within. Misty Step is 30 feet. Fuck.
Misty Step is 30 feet, and your speed is
50 feet. I'm still 10 feet away,
10
which
feet
means
shy.
I can't. Which means I can't cure wounds at that range. He's not. Olaroon's not within 10 feet of me, is he? From where we.
he. How far have you traveled?
So I've been able to travel 60 feet for the first time.
Mm-hmm. You traveled
I was
60 feet, so that puts you at
Yeah.
90 feet from the thing.
Yeah.
Olaroon traveled 40 feet and 40 feet.
So I've traveled 80 feet.
So
No, that's 20 feet away.
yeah.
Oh, aha. Aha. I've got it. So, if I Misty Step 30 feet ahead of me, that'll put me 10 feet within Olaroon, which means I can then move my 60 feet of movement, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Not just a hat rack, my friend. Not just a hat rack.
So I am going to Misty Step forward 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then being just filled with inspirational and bountiful joy from the light of Dawnbringer, that sassy ass sword, I'm going to move 60 feet, and I'm going to reach out and grab Sarai's hand as it's in the dino mouth, and
Mhm.
I'm going to cast a second level Cure Wounds on her,
Okay.
which is 2d8 plus 3. Oh wow, a 7 and an 8. That's really good. So that's 16 16 points of
18.
healing to you.
18. Plus 3.
Yes, yeah, 20 15 plus 3. Yeah,
15
18.
plus 3 is 18. You got it. Okay. I think that's it for Sirach. Treasure.
I am still literally hoofing it to this thing.
Yes, you are. You've traveled 60. So you've got 90 feet to go. Another 60 another 60-foot dash.
Another 60-foot dash, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know if you had your lightning javelin.
I believe I do. Let's see what the range on that thing is, though. Because I'd still have to get closer.
Yeah. Would you?
I think it's up to like 120 feet in
Yeah.
a straight line.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's 120 feet. Because it had said 30 feet, which is what I saw, and I'm like, oh no, 120. Cool. Let's do that then.
All right. I have put on the background track Dinotopia because I was hoping there would be dino roars in it. There are not.
Not one.
And now I'm disappointed.
Disappointed.
Isn't Dinotopia the book about like let's make utopia, but it's kids with dinosaurs
Yep.
Yeah.
and they all talk,
Yeah.
which is a dope thing, by the way.
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
not what we're going for here.
No. I mean, it's nice. It's nice ambiance, but I was hoping for, Gary Dino roar, but it gave me nothing. So
Roar!
that's what I needed. Thank you.
So I I am going to move up the 30 feet regardless because I do want to get closer to this thing to be able to do more damage.
Okay. Wait.
And I'm going to actually use the charge that it has because that's probably the best thing I can do to get that 120 feet out. It's going to need to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dex save 12.
It fails. It was a DC 13.
Nice.
Woo!
So now Treasure's going to be throwing this thing. She has no idea what the fuck is going on. She's just hoping it goes for the best. Let's see, 4d6 lightning damage. That is...
Oh, there's choppers in the back of Monster Attack. That doesn't work. I just want to
That-
hear something roar.
That is 15
Rawr.
lightning damage.
15?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So with 15 points of lightning damage, and that's a big, flashy sort of attack. It is gonna drop to ride.
I am holding on to her.
Okay.
I can reaction cast Featherfall on myself
All right.
because I'm conscious now.
You are.
Now, the one thing I don't see here is whether that javelin's just stuck in the T-Rex or it comes back to me.
Oh, it doesn't come back to you.
Cool, then it's just stuck in the T-Rex.
Yep. So, anything else, Treasure? Movement, attack, any bonus actions?
Ooh. Gonna draw my adamantine greatsword and wait till my next turn.
Okay, sounds good. Starting with the northernmost dinosaur. Oh, that tail attack did nothing, but it probably does grab another centaur. They are starting to rally at this point, and you can see the sort of sweeping archery, the range or the cavalry archers that they are beginning to take effect as they begin pelting the northern Rex with arrows. The second one continues to just wreck people, chomps down another dude, slaps him with its tail. This one is going to, Sarai, you feather falling to the ground. This one's focus is suddenly on Treasure. Treasure, you have traveled 90 feet. T-Rex speed is 50, but it has reach on its attacks. So as it is... yeah.
How does it have reach? It has teeny tiny arms.
Its tail and its head, like it's just very long, is the point. But so as it's going, it sees the chicken. It's gonna bite the chicken, so it's gonna make the bite attack against Sirach.
Chickens can't fly.
It doesn't know that. It has an intelligence of 2. So
And I was very brave.
you were. So because you're at snack height, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You're flying at snack height, and it's like it sees the lightning bolt attack. It's very dumb. Like it just is purely reactionary, right? And it's like that thing hurt. I'm gonna do that. Wait,
Yum.
snack for the road. Arr.
Oh, he's taking a roadie.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, he's taking a roadie.
Okay. And then with 10 feet, it'll do the tail swipe on Treasure. 15 plus 10, 25. So that, but we'll, so it is 4d12 max is 12, 24, 48 plus 7, 55 base plus... lost that d12. Luckily, I have more. Plus 55 plus 22 is 77. Plus
Already out.
9 is 85. So,
Yep.
what are your maximum hit points?
68.
68. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are going to have to roll. We need to roll on the wound/pain chart
Because
for
he
you.
overdid me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna-
If I survive.
I'm gonna pull that up. So
All right.
give me just a moment. Let me get that going, and we'll have you roll on that before your next turn. You are also grappled and restrained. Treasure, you got smacked with the tail. The tail is less painful, for sure.
I also take 3 less damage because T-Rexes are not magical, correct?
They are not. Although this one is doing extremely well. It doesn't, not very bad. 17 points of damage, minus 3, 14. All right, that is it for that round. New round.
Just one question.
Yes.
Since I was on top of its back, do I have to make any sort of checks, or?
Yeah, as a make me an I'll take athletics check.
9.
9. All right, let's see. I'll roll a difficulty for it.
And my initiative is 9. Go figure.
All right. So Talroth, you actually do go spilling off of its back. We'll say of the 50 feet it moves, you probably moved like 20 feet with it, and then like went kind of tumbling down. You are going to take 5 points of fall damage. You land on your feet, but just you're not prone. But your knees and hips and your ankles, you're gonna feel that tomorrow. Like that was not a good fall. So, okay, I'm last. I have a 3. So who's going first?
I think that's me with a king.
Yes, it is. It is you with the king. Then Mars, then Olaroon, then Meg, then Treasure.
Failure. That was an 8.
All right.
It's not plus anything, right? It's just you
Just
roll.
any bonuses to saving throws. So, technically, because this is a death save, if you are within 10 feet of a paladin and you have like that aura, that bonus to their saving throws, that adds to it. Also, so do any magic items that improve your saving throws. So rings or cloaks of protection that give you a +1 to all your saving throws. It technically does apply to your death saves as well.
And he hasn't died before.
He has not died before.
All right. So yeah, that's first failed save there.
Okay. First failed save. All right. Talroth.
All right, I'll just roll with the momentum. Just start chasing after the T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Sirach in its mouth. Saride is probably on the ground. I see this thing is at Treasure, running towards it, pulling at the other sword, and I'm going to take my 2 swipes at it.
Okay. Treasure's technically not within 5 feet of it.
But it still has advantage from Guiding Bolt, does it?
Yes, it does. You're correct. And Saride, you are not. He dropped you and moved 50 feet. You cast Featherfall, remember?
Yeah, I didn't realize he moved. What a fuck.
Treasure caught its attention.
With a lightning javelin.
With a lightning javelin. That's attention grabbing.
Can I just say, she essentially went kabam behind a KFC fried sandwich
Uh-huh.
that was floating in front of his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're on the first attack with advantage. Here's hoping. First hit is an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay. And I'm just going to roll the second attack also.
Yeah, go for it.
But this one is not with advantage.
Correct.
That is going to be a 13.
Does hit, just barely.
Okay, so both hit.
Yep. 13 is the armor class of the T-Rex, of the Thunder Lizard.
All right, so that is going to be a total of 15 damage just from the weapons.
Okay.
And because both of them hit, I'm going to go ahead and kick on the charge for Zephyr Strike, just to at least get a little more protection going. And then the sneak attack damage from the hit that had advantage is another 13.
It's another 13. Okay. So 28 total?
Yep.
Nice.
I was hoping for a nat 20, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
Never does when you need it.
All right. Who is next?
Let's see. Believe that's me.
Go for it.
Okay. So you move 50 feet up, so he's closer to me now, right?
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He did. Yeah. He moved towards treasure.
Okay. So I think I should be able to
Get
can I
there
reach
in
him
40?
now if I move 40? Okay. So I'm going to go. I can't. Let's see. I am sorry, Sirach, but I'm gonna have to leave you behind for just a minute. As I am going to swing as I fly up and try and hit this guy with Dawnbringer.
Okay.
So that is 18.
That hits.
Okay. So I am also going to put a second level Divine Smite into that as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to do some calculations. So that is so with the new feature of Dawnbringer, it is going to be 4d8.
Yep.
Wait, no. 4d8. 4d8.
It is.
Okay. So it is 13 points of damage on the regular attack.
Okay.
And then 4 plus another, that's a couple 8s, plus another 23 points of radiant damage with
Okay.
The second level Divine Smite. And what I'm also going to do is use my Channel Divinity
Mm-hmm.
to use Inspiring Smite, which means that I can I get to roll 2d8 plus 8, and I can distribute those temporary hit points to anyone within, I believe, 30 feet of me.
Okay.
Yeah, within 30 feet of me. So that is, let's see, 2d8. Okay, so that is 19 points of temporary HP.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? So who is within 30 feet of me?
Everyone but Saride, I think.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to go ahead and give, because temporary hit points aren't going to help Sirach at all, right?
No. Well, they
Okay,
will.
I didn't think so.
Hold on.
You've let me heal people with temp hit points on Mantle of Inspiration before.
But he's unconscious, so I want to know if it's...
No, that's what I'm saying. You've let me raise people. I actually think Sirach with a Mantle of Inspiration because it's hit points, even though they're temporary.
I am looking it up.
Sirach, are you living on borrowed time?
There is no rule that prevents an unconscious creature from gaining temporary hit points. Thus, any method that normally allows one to gain temporary hit points should still work when a creature is unconscious. For example, someone could cast False Life on the unconscious creature.
But I don't think it'd raise me. I think it would just give me temp hit points.
Ah.
It's fine. I'll get him in a second.
Yeah, so here's what it does. If he takes damage, he doesn't auto fail the death save unless it exceeds the temporary hit points received.
Then
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, then I'm gonna give 9 to Sirach, because Talroth, you haven't been hit yet, right? Okay, yeah. So you have 9 temporary hit points, Sirach. Treasure, you get 10. And yeah, so that's my inspiring smite. That's my first turn. That's my first attack. I still have a second attack.
Yeah.
That's a 4, so that probably misses.
4 total. Yeah,
Yeah, and also I forgot I had Searing Smite on my sword.
you did.
So, another 6 points of fire damage,
Okay.
and it needs a con save DC 16.
Okay.
It's
Constitution.
probably gonna save because it's pretty beefy, but
It is pretty beefy. Let's see. 18.
yeah. So it doesn't light on fire, but it does take an extra 6 points damage.
Got it.
And that ends my turn. Thank you so much for letting me do all that nonsense, Cody.
You're welcome. All right. Who's up next? Treasure? Thank you, Saride.
I was going to do this before, so it's not meant to be pointed. I mean, it is, but not in a direct way. I'm going to move up 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And Mantle of Inspiration on everyone except for Olaroon.
Okay.
So 8 temporary hit points.
Okay.
And then I mean, he's out of... I can't get to him anyway. He's too far.
Yeah, he is 20-ish feet away from you.
Third level healing word, so 14 points of I want you, I need you, oh baby, to the bird in the dino mouth.
All right.
We back in here.
Sounds good. And I believe that brings us to Treasure.
And I think I'm close enough to the dino now to do something about it.
You have to move 10 feet, but yeah.
Well, I will move said 10 feet
Yep.
and use my bonus action for... let's do Searing Smite.
Okay, let's do it.
And then both of my attacks. That's going to be a 19.
Okay. That'll hit.
And that is a natural 19, which
Okay.
I crit on.
Yes, you do.
So let's roll the first one, which is not the crit.
Okay.
We don't roll ones in this house.
Mm-mm.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 for the first hit.
Okay.
The second hit is 17 base plus the 2d6. $17 plus an additional 10, so 27 on that second hit.
All right. So that is a total of 41 points of damage. That's showtime.
Let's go!
Yay!
Put down my chicken, you dinosaur chicken nugget.
As Treasure comes screaming at the giant lizard, just wailing her adamantine greatsword into its knee, maybe shin.
I am like ankle or knee high, but this
Yeah.
will be the best ankle biter moment and the only one Treasure will probably ever have.
Probably, yeah. So the blade carves deep into the leg, cutting through the tendons. It sort of wails out as the blood comes pouring out of it, its wounds catching and breaking it down as it sort of comes slumping on to the ground. It is, because it's a little weird that cutting off the ankle of it, I guess, killed it immediately. We're going to say it's laying there incapacitated and not a threat, but not dead, right?
Well, I mean, it's in the water, right?
No, it's up on the land.
But considering how their stupid little chicken legs are, she essentially cut the femoral artery behind the knee.
Yeah, so good call. So yeah, it bleeds out in a very spurty way.
That's why its arms and legs are so small. That's where all the important veins are.
So, all right, guys, we are going to take a brief break. It is 9:38, 9:39 by my clock. We're going to take 10 minutes. We're going to be right back. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you in just a few moments. But until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Cole, playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, the Oath of Glory ASMR Paladin.
I'm Meg. I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
I'm Eric. I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy, y'all. This is Maz. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
And I'm Kez, and I'm playing Treasure, the Tiefling fighter. I can words today, I promise.
It is a struggle. It has definitely been a struggle for us today. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Before the break, during a tense, I won't call it a negotiation, but perhaps a bit of an interview process, the party and the centaurs that they were talking with were beset upon by 3 Tyrannosauruses, 3 big T-Rexes. And so after chasing them about a little bit and a couple of big bites on Sarai and on Sirach, they were able to fell the massive lizard. Speaking of Sirach, roll me a d20.
All right, middle of the road, 10.
10. All right. So, Sirach, you suffer some broken ribs. Mostly seems to be about when you take actions in combat. You have to make a Constitution saving throw, or if you fail, you lose your action and reaction. Roll me a d6.
4.
4. Okay. So you're gonna need 4 days of rest and medical healing care to heal your broken ribs.
What's everyone look like healing wise, like health wise?
I am at 14 out of a max of 68.
Okay.
10 hit points go away, right?
Yes, they do. Well, do they? No.
After a while, yeah.
After when you take a long rest, they go away.
Yeah.
And after a long rest.
Are the other two T-Rexes still up and running, or are they dealt with?
They are being dealt with as you guys are watching. Once the centaurs have sort of gotten themselves back together, while the T-Rexes are almost as fast as they are, they're able to wheel about, making sort of arrow charges and using their superior mobility. They are able to bring them down. So it takes them a little bit longer than you guys, and you can see as the final T-Rex falls. You look over, there was about 30 of them, about 2-3 dozen people, a little more, than 30, and you can see that lined up as they begin sifting through their wounded. It looks like there's probably about 4 wounded and another. Let's see, and another 5 that are dead. So you guys are now, pretty close to the tribes, to the tribe. They are, some of them are tending to the wounded, some of them are tending to the dead, some of them are harvesting the portions off of the T-Rexes. What would you guys like to do?
Can I use lay on hands on Sirach and Saride, and give them 20
She's
HP?
gonna smack him away.
Will you stop?
She's focused on Sirach, and she's trying to help him too. And she doesn't mind him helping, but she's not gonna let him touch her.
I'm just gonna sigh deeply and heal Sirach for 20.
Okay.
Boom.
So you get 20 HP, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Try not to get eaten by a dinosaur next time.
Is it hard for anyone else to breathe, or is that's just normal after something like this?
It's normal from what I understand. She's gonna try to calm him down and figure out, because I can't do anything to speed this process, can I?
Make a medicine check.
$18.
Okay. So normally healing broken ribs takes like weeks, and you have to sit and not do anything, and you need sometimes you wear a sling. It's a process, right? The magical care and the medicine that you guys are providing is what allows it to be fixed in days, as opposed to weeks.
Do I remember that story of back break plus a negative back break equals a full person? So perhaps broken ribs to negative broken ribs. She starts poking at Sirach.
It's painful, Sirach.
I'm sorry, you were supposed to be Batman. Oh no.
Birdman, not Batman.
Oh, that's even more perfect. Well done, Stone.
Yeah, what can I say?
I'm boy. At best, I'm Robin. Let's be honest.
Treasure's retrieving her lightning javelin
Okay. Yeah.
because that's a thing I need back. Stuck out of the side of giant ass lizard, and just kind of looking around, seeing things are quelled, and making sure no other giant ass lizards are coming our way at the moment.
The water seems, well, it's a river, so not placid, but you don't seem to detect any other dangers immediately at hand. You do notice that the tribe is giving you guys a respectful berth from your kill.
I will probably take a few minutes while the centaurs are taking care of their own wounded, their own dead, just giving them their space. Maybe see if I can carve out some steaks from the dino.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a survival check. What sort of What sort of things are you looking to harvest?
Well, Treasure mentioned something about a drinking horn out of the teeth, so yeah, maybe a few teeth might not be a bad idea.
Okay.
But also pretty much getting like chunks of meat to maybe see if when Screebers eventually shows back up, because he probably dipped out. Maybe see if he wants to cook some up. Use some of that to kind of restock a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Make a survival check.
Can I assist with that? Because Treasure's 110% down with the idea of dinosaur jerky.
Okay. Sure.
Do you want to roll survival or just have it roll advantage or?
It's up to you. She said assist.
Your survival's probably higher than mine.
So she can give you advantage.
Okay, so what would have been a 10 now is a natural 19 for a 27.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot here to carve through. So how long do you want to spend working on this lizard?
Definitely getting Treasure's help to carve some of the bigger pieces out faster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just kind of helping pull its lips up and just telling her aim here, and we got the teeth.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can gather some teeth. I don't genuinely know how big T-Rex teeth are. To be perfectly honest, I said the size of I said the size of a halfling, kind of to be dramatic about it, but I'm pretty sure.
Commonwealth, that man is an angel. That man is a bird. We are not dealing with reality. Those teeth are the size of hobbits.
Okay, so like they're 3 feet, 2.5, 3 feet tall, which actually, now that I think about it, is probably not so bad. Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yeah. Actually, it does. So that's good to know.
Yeah, definitely getting some teeth and pretty much carving out a fair chunk of meat.
Okay.
Just to be able to kind of restock a little bit and have a good dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. You can butcher out probably 5 pounds of meat, 10 pounds of meat pretty quickly, because there's just a lot of flesh to it that can be harvested, can be gathered. You do grab a couple of teeth. Anything else you wanna work on? I'll say with that check, that's probably like an hour worth of work. If you wanted to get more, leather from the skin or things like that, you'd be looking at another couple hours to get some more stuff.
Yeah, I figure an hour's good at first. Also, just every now and then looking back at the centaurs, see where they're at, and if I'm able to see that their leader is free to talk, so to speak, or at least not really doing anything, then just kind of making my way back over to continue our conversation.
Okay. Yeah, she continues to direct the information, and places herself on the edge of the tribe, of the camp, between you guys and the rest of her people. So they are much quicker about harvesting the pieces of the T-Rex. You can tell that this is something they are adept at. This is something that they are well practiced at doing. So, but she does seem to have made herself at least partially available to you.
All right, so yeah, just walking up, swords put away again, the double-bladed just still slung to my back now, hood down, just not trying to hide, and just calmly walking up.
I appreciate what you've done. It was a dangerous moment for us. You all mostly unscathed.
Well, we're all alive, breathing. Unscathed is a little too much. We took a couple nasty hits, but we've been through the ringer once, twice.
She nods in acceptance of that. I appreciate your help for what you've done. We'll invite you to dine with us tonight. And while the harvest continues tomorrow, I'll send someone lead you to Radovan.
That will be most greatly appreciated. Now, considering that at least the size of my group, and just kind of looking back at them, compared to the size of yours, I think it's only fair that whatever we are unable to take away from this creature is all yours. No sense in letting good meat go to waste.
She nods, thinks about it for a moment, and goes, "It's very generous of you. They are difficult prey, to say the least. I'll set my people up to the task."
Just kind of nod.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did have one question, if it's all right.
Speak.
You mentioned that this, and forgive my pronunciation, Radovan, was that correct?
Radovan, yes.
If I heard correctly, you mentioned he was the third to carry the blade that you seem to recognize as a kind of point to the double-bladed.
That's correct.
Is there a story how he obtained that blade, or at least how I'm taking a guess that Radovan the First obtained that blade?
She thinks for a moment. And she'll sort of look at you and, I don't know where the blades come from, but they are they're a symbol of the tribe's power, of the great Yongi, of their right for rulership. There is no secret how Radovan came to bear the Windcutter. There is the greater gale and the lesser wind. Whoever in the tribe possesses the lesser may challenge for the greater. Whoever wields the greater wields the thunder across the plains.
So this blade that he has, this is the Greater Gale.
Yes.
I'll get like a small stick and see if there's like a little clear dirt patch and start kind of drawing out what I remember the other half of the sword would look like.
Okay.
And specifically where it would have been broken in half to kind of show where that damage was.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of point it out. And his sword has a similar look to this, where it looks like it's damaged on one side.
Okay, so Cody's confused now. So the She's already confirmed
sorry.
for you the greater scimitar, the larger half of it does have the broken handle.
Okay, I must have misunderstood that before. I apologize.
Yep. No. That's okay. Yeah, because you did ask about it being broken, and she did confirm that for you. So
Okay, I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
if you are asking about the other blade, that's a different question. And so I was just trying to make sure I understood so I could give you the proper answer because, yeah, I don't want to mislead you guys.
No, gotcha. So, yeah, I will rephrase my question then. So since she confirmed that the one that I'm looking for is Greater Gale,
Mm-hmm.
I'm now curious about Lesser Wind.
Okay. What would you like to know about it? Go ahead and rephrase the question for me, or restate the question since there was we got that little hiccup.
So if Greater Gale is the symbol of the leadership, and that is the one that I'm actually a fair bit interested in due to family reasons. What is this Lesser Wind you spoke of? Is it a part of the same whole, or is it something else entirely?
He thinks for a moment. I haven't seen it. It's been missing some years. The tribes don't gather as often as they used to. But by word, it is nearly the twin of the Greater Gale, slightly smaller, as though they were set or forged from the same piece of wood, iron and wood. It was given to the son of the first Yongi. And he carried it, taking on all challenges until he thought himself strong enough to take his father's place. And so it's been passed. Not necessarily from father to son, but from challenger to champion.
Well, considering that we're just kind of looking back at the T-Rexes getting essentially piranha'd by everybody.
Yeah, they don't quite descend on it like locusts. They are very skilled and precise in their movements, and there's a bit of like rope work and rigging, and it takes some horse muscle to flip it over and move a leg and pull a bone out. Like these things are fucking massive, so it's not quite just like butchering a normal animal. Like it takes some big haunches.
Yeah, so kind of looking at all that, seeing as how we still have a fair bit of work to do before dinner, I'll go at least let my companions know what's going on. I would like to have to continue this conversation with a story later, at least giving a bit of understanding of my intention of asking about this blade.
All right. She sort of eyeballs you a little bit and nods, lets you go on your way. She returns to directing her soldiers, tribesmen.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Apologies.
So tight.
Yeah, so I'll kind of come back to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we got barbecue tonight.
Treasure's halfway through burning a couple cubes of steak.
Yeah, so on the good news, they invited us to dinner. we are not going to be eating. Instead, we're having dino meat tonight, so that's going to be kind of fun. And yeah, just to kind of make nice. I figure not letting all this good meat go to waste. Whatever we don't take out, they'll pick up.
That's fair, because I have no idea how to cook this.
I mean, if it's anything like some of the steaks we had before, it's like a nice medium rare should do it, shouldn't it? Or is this more
Well-
like chicken?
That's the problem. I don't think this has any fat on it, and she's holding up like this crusty charcoal chunk on a stick.
Well, what if we like wrapped it up in bacon or something to get some fat back on it? I mean, don't we have like any butter left or anything?
Do you have bacon? Because I don't have bacon, and I'm pretty sure whatever butter we had is in Screeber's personal pantry, and I ain't going near that.
We do have bacon.
We have bacon. I don't know if it'll save this though.
Maybe not that particular piece.
I mean, if it's well done, just save it for Screebers. He likes overcooking his meat.
Does he?
He makes pie. I don't know.
I mean, at this point, it's basically a projectile.
Well, all right. So we're having dinner with the tribe.
Yep, kind of a bit of a thank you for helping out. So at least seems to be a bit of a peace tonight, and seems like they agreed to at least have one of them lead us back to this Radovan the Younger.
And that's the one that has your blade, you think?
Well, at least that's the way it's looking, but something about this is not sitting well. Something's weird about this.
What do you mean?
I know it's been a while since I've at least been back home and seen the blades and all that, or at least the half the blade that, at least to my knowledge, is still back at the village. But boss lady there was saying that the greater gale is the one that this Radovan has, but the lesser wind has been missing. Now, unless we're talking about a couple different sets of swords here, either the blades might have belonged to them at first and my village stole it, or vice versa, or something.
If they did steal it, is that really going to change anything?
It depends on if the one that's back at home is really that lesser wind they're talking about. I mean, I'm still trying to understand it myself, but I figured having a nice little dinner, sitting down, and maybe if I explain my story, might start putting a little more sense to things.
Of course. Might I suggest something, Master Oakenblade?
Was that?
Don't steal from them.
I had no intention of stealing from them.
Your intentions are the least of my worries. It's your actions that are. And she's going to turn and touch Sirach and try to double break his ribs because she's pretty fucking sure you can just yeah. It's physical therapy, it's supposed to hurt.
At this point, you just hear him. "Bakak!"
Treasure just offers him the burnt dino stress ball.
He just bites down on it like a piece of leather.
It is about as tough.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. All right, just breathe through the pain. Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Oh, it was at this point Sirach realized he was getting beat by Saride while having a ball gag. Interesting. Okay.
Well, she knows how to do it now, so, you know.
I'm done. I quit. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm going home.
Hello, Camster.
Hello, Camster.
We're not
This
on
isn't
cancer
Friday,
yet.
guys.
It's not Friday. So, you guys gather the rest of your troop, who are making their way up. Trebers wasn't even on your cart. He was just hanging out in the back. He was like, nah, I'm not getting close to that. As you guys do make your way throughout the day, anything in particular you would like to do before dinner?
Can I have a conversation with Dawnbringer?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll kind of like sit down and I'll be like, so I'm supposed to do this hero business, glory, all of that excellence and strength and, become a legend and all that, right?
Doesn't respond.
Oh, well, I think that in every tale that's ever been told, a hero always had a companion. Not necessarily, may not necessarily be a person, but they always had someone or something, like a horse. So, I was trying to think of what would be the name said beside mine. So, I figured if I'm meant to do this, I'm meant to do this right. And I will spend 10 minutes and cast Find Steed.
Okay. What sort of steed are you finding?
I am
Can he have a
finding.
pony?
I believe it is. Yeah. Well, actually, if it's not find greater steed, so it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just find regular steed.
Yeah.
But it has the statistics of my chosen form, but it is a celestial, fey, or fiend. My choice, of course, it's going to be celestial.
Okay.
Please
And it could be-
Finn.
It could be a warhorse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff.
Oh God, can
Um,
it be a pony?
But look, if I'm gonna do this, I need to be as heroic as humanly possible, and I feel
On
like
a
a war.
pony.
I feel
Winnie's,
like
Winnie's dead. He needs a new master.
I'm going to go ahead and get a brilliant, almost golden warhorse.
Okay.
With like a silver mane, and I'm gonna cast Find Steed, and that's my second level spell slot. As I summon who will now be known as Zephyros.
It's a good name.
No Dawnbringer, but it's a good name. And I will kind of like nod at my new horse companion
Mm-hmm.
as he kind of like coalesces from the mist of magic or from the other planes. So now I have a horse, and his name is Zephyros,
Sounds
and
good.
he's glorious.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's just something I just wanted to get that
Yeah,
done.
please.
Sorry.
Congratulations. No, nothing to be sorry about.
Mhm.
Well done. I'm not gonna go giving Finnegan to other people. Okay.
He's got nothing else to do.
He's got the plains to ride through. He's fine. He's got wonderful grass to leap about in.
He's just sitting on a couch somewhere, like, what?
Probably.
Mm.
Okay, so dinner approaches. One of the things you guys do notice is that since the fight, the drums have been oddly silent. There is no thundering across the plains currently. It is just they have some other sort of music that is being played to accompany dinner. They do have some sort of like bow and fiddle sort of music. Looks like they adapt their short bows with different strings, almost like kind of like a washtub string, like a big standing bass. So it's sort of those sort of like string instruments that get plucked. They're a little more I won't say haphazard, but they're a little more primal. You do see the drums that were there, and they're very much the big sort of bass drums. Looks like they're set to be worn on the front of one of the centaurs, sort of very much the big heavy basses of like a drum line, you know. There is no formal like table where things are served, but there are spits of meat, and it is mostly roasted like kebab style things, and vegetables. So you sort of skewer your meal together, and then they have bowls of sort of lined in like sauces and spices and things, and you kind of dip your kebab and coat it per bite, sort of as you do. And the food is it's very good. It's perhaps a little spicier than you may have suspected. It is not a tart sort of spice. It's very much more like a almost bitter kind of spice, like a heavy mustard kind of. But there are some milder sauces. There seem to be some like cream things that are a little creamier, a little more yogurty. Citrus seems to be pretty rare for them, so not a lot of that. But other things are definitely there and seem to be enjoyed quite a bit. You are sitting around a fire with the tribal leader, whose name you guys have not had the chance to really ask. But she tells you her name is Shelavan.
Sorry,
Sullivan?
Shelavan?
Yep. So, you said you wanted to share some sort of story.
Yes. Now, the thing is, if in the sword, the Greater Gale that you're talking about is what I think it is, then it might have been one that belonged to my family a long time ago. And I'll start explaining from the beginning, talking about how so this would have been something like, I think was it like 80, 90 years ago? Something like that?
You were, so it's close, so it's like 120.
Okay, so So starting like 120 years ago, talking about when Talroth was a kid, this attack that happened on the village. He would not have remembered who had come in, so those details are vague. But he would talk about how his father, Votho Oakenblade, had a double-bladed sword similar to the one he's using now. Would have fought back, but the blade itself was broken, and afterwards half of the blade disappeared along with his father's arm. And just kind of explaining that since then the family's been trying to recover that blade, just trying to follow different leads and rumors, and pretty much ending it with there's a chance that the Greater Gale might be the missing half of my family's blade.
Make a performance check.
Okay. Oh, the goal is not to come off accusatory, more just explaining the story how I would have learned it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Natural 1.
No, natural 20 for a total 19.
Excellent.
Nicely done.
Of all the times it decides to roll a nat 20 now.
So let's see. Oh, they listen intently. The leaders of this tribe, Michelevin, her attaché and confidant, they sort of nod and kind of understand. I don't know if your sword is the same. But a few generations back, for us, probably 4, 5. Can't remember what she sounds like, so we're just gonna press forward, aren't we? The first Anyangi united the tribes and took part in a great conquest. Vision, purpose. United under a singular cause. And that spirit abandoned us to the north. Abandoned us, rebelled to the north. But the Yangi held true. Led us in victory. It may have been about the time your village was set upon. I don't know if this blade is yours, but to us, if your father could not hold it, then he didn't deserve it. You will not take the wind cutter from the Anyangi purely with words, tales of yesteryear. You require the lesser wit. With it, you could challenge for the blade. Without it, you'd be declaring war, an affront to all tribesmen. The Anyangi holds power because he's earned it. The plains thunder at his command. When she says that, you hear the hooves begin to beat into the ground. It sort of shakes. But along with it, whether by enchantment magic or prestidigitation, perhaps some greater illusion, with the thundering of the hooves, you hear the sort of sky crack that even people who live in thunderstorms daily still jump at. The kind that is right above you, right next to you. Type of thunder that shakes windows and rattles doors. Yes?
Can I cast Comprehend Languages really quick?
Sure, yeah.
And jump and startle and, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What was that? What was that word again?
A Yungi?
Does that mean anything?
Yeah. So it is the, yeah, it is the Thunder Caller, essentially. Like it is the one who summons the storm. It is a title, and not a. Yeah, it's a title. It's not necessarily like a literal title. It's for the tribesmen along the plains. Thunder, wind, storms, being swift. These are all elements that are sacred to them and their lifestyle.
Can I do a check of some sort to see if I know what I think it is? Can I check to see if I think it's right?
Sure. What do you think it is?
It's you, so I think it's Yancy Bin.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You can make a check.
What is it going to be?
Make a history check.
This is Yancy Bin. She'll never forgive you, Cody.
Still haven't forgiven you. Let's goddamn go. Listen, somewhere in that universe, there was a very angry, very autistic druid who was sitting and waiting, just like, come on, motherfucker, blow the wrong way, and I'm going to come at you. It's a 21.
A 21. So Yancy Bin was defeated on the Prime Material Plane by a group of heroes.
By who?
You
Say her name.
you say her name.
Lady Winifred Wilton Smythe!
There you
Hyphen, whatever the fuck Elias' name was.
go. Well, there. I'm glad I had you say it and not me.
Love of my life.
Yeah, by a group of heroes on the Prime Material Plane some 80, 90 years ago, something like that.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh,
and this is
longer.
This is also.
So 90, yeah, about 90, 100 years ago.
So this is part of a Saride thing as well.
Mhm.
Because I know when demon lords or stuff, when they die in the Prime Material, they just go back home and respawn.
Yes, so we
Do
would.
elementals do the same thing?
Yes, something like that, but it still is too short for them to have, for the elemental evils to have reformed.
And I don't know that I rolled high enough for this. I'm going to ask anyway. Do they reform exactly the same, or is it just there is a Lord of Wind?
There are always the elementals, the lords of the elements, right? The elemental evils are sort of the twisted dark versions of them. They are not guaranteed. They are not like supposed to be there. They're what happens when something corrupts the plane. So whatever
So, like,
did the corrupting may still exist. But it wouldn't be Yanzi Bin again. It would just be a different evil wind elemental.
I'm also just realizing the reason it was Yanzi Ben was because of the shadow. So that's great. Way to go, friend. You fucked me over in 2 campaigns. But is it sort of like with Dragon Age? You know how when you do that thing for Soulless and you, I mean, spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition, you fight his friend that was a spirit of wisdom that's been turned into a pride demon,
Okay, yeah.
and you have to kill it,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes back to the place it was going to be in, but it's not the same person, or it's not the same spirit.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, it is like that. It is not the same.
Energy
Right.
takes up that space, but it's not. Hey, we have a raid! Thank you,
Hey,
raid!
thank you, Raid. Thank you guys so very
Hey.
much. Welcome,
Hey.
welcome, welcome. Yes, it is. Something will fill that void, but it is not the same creature. It is not the same spirit. It is not reincarnated, but something else will come along to fill that void. That's a good way of putting it.
Excellent. Then I will keep casting Calm Facade on myself and fucking with Sirach.
Okay.
All right, so after Shellivan, that was her name, correct?
Michellevan, yeah.
Okay. So after explaining my story, then when she starts explaining pretty much about how if Votho lost the blade, then he wasn't worthy of it. Definitely gonna bite my tongue a little bit on it. Just trying to offer the same respect they were showing us when I was telling my story, just not
Yeah.
reacting, just listening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I said before, my intention is just to see if the Greater Gale is the companion to the blade that's back in my village. If it's not a problem. I just continue my search and wish the tribes all the best. However, in the event that this is the blade that I'm looking for, if this is the missing half of, well, I wouldn't even consider my father's blade anymore. You're saying, and I understand, it won't be given up without a fight.
I'm saying no, you will have to fight for the blade one way or another. You either challenge for it in singles combat, if you possess the lesser wind, or you attempt to wrest it from the hands of every hoof and the grip of every centaur across the plains.
Well, I am, as you can obviously tell from my slightly smaller build in comparison to you fine folk, a straight out fight is not something I would prefer to do. I can at least give you my word right now. I will have no intention of challenging for the blade, but I would like to see it just to check it off the list.
She sort of nods and smiles, and I think you're overestimating my importance in the tribes, but Ashenville here will guide you west, and there you can have your audience with Radovan. You've done us a service, and you've earned at least that. What happens from there is between you and him.
Well, then I say we at least have a drink to a decent hunt today. Drink to the victors, and remembrance to those who did not make it.
Well said. And she'll raise a glass, and they will all sort of join her. The dinner throughout the night is good. They are gracious hosts, to be sure. They do have some sort of like big round like bivouac Sherpa tents. What are the yurts? Like big yurts. The tent, but it's round. That's what makes it a yurt. That they set up, and they're very quick to sort of set things up and break them down. But they do offer you the best hospitality that they can. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before calling it a night? Yes, Sir Ride.
Like as we're going to our yurts and everything's calming down, she's going to play a song of rest for anyone that needs it from our team or from their people.
Okay.
But it is also a elven, and it's in Sylvan. It's a song of mourning.
Okay.
For fallen heroes, so it's sort of a tip of the cap to everyone that died fighting a T-Rex, which honestly is the way to go. I mean,
yeah. Make a performance check for me. They appreciate the song. I'm going to say they don't understand your Sylvan accent. So while you're singing, it's very beautiful. You do a great job singing. But
you know what it is? It's me being in middle school, being super into the Riverdance soundtrack.
Sure. Yeah.
And just singing it in the corner while no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm gonna say, yeah, it's that while you're performing, you notice that they sort of are kind of talking over it, not in like a rude way, but but you keep noticing that they're leaning amongst each other, going, and you finally hear one of them like, "Do you know what she's saying?" "No, I don't know what she's saying." Is that Sylvan? I think it's Sylvan. I've never heard Sylvan. Like, it's that.
Escuché fumador, so it's fine. I don't care anymore.
They applaud very loudly when you finish.
Damn right they do.
As I was saying that, I was like, this is going to sound like they're happy she stopped, but that's not the intention.
I'm so dumb I didn't even pick up on that. So I'm just like, oh my god, thank you so much.
They do applaud. They applaud very loudly. They enjoyed it very much. So
now, I have a question. This is serious.
Okay.
How do centaurs applaud?
With hand and hoof. Both.
That's a lot of noise.
It is.
Clack, 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 clack.
No.
Went the trolley. It's an encore. Clank. Sorry.
It is a lot of noise. You get the feeling that rhythm and music play a big part in their culture, because they do they just have sort of a natural rhythm to their running and walking and travel. So yeah, the drums are never played throughout the night.
Treasure's just happy to see other people with hooves, so she's gonna ask if anybody knows how to get good horseshoes around here.
Okay. Sure. They don't believe in.
Ask them to dance.
They don't shoe themselves. That is. I think that would be weird for them.
Really?
I thought shoeing was good for them.
So, sorry, I just happened to know this. Horses who are on what we would consider like pavement and asphalt and things like that, that will wear down their feet very quickly, which is how the modern invention of horseshoes actually came to be. But a horse who is like a wild horses who are able to freely roam plains and move around, that will generally it'll wear their hooves down at an appropriate rate.
Really, grass and like soft peat will wear
It's
that
just,
down.
yeah,
Like over-
constant friction over time.
I mean, I realize they're also like full horse pounding it into the
Yeah.
ground. So,
Mm.
wow,
Yeah,
I
Treasure's
learned
just
something. Or you know,
Treasure's just like, really, your hooves look great. Mine are crushed from being in town the entire time.
No, we don't.
I don't
yeah,
even know.
Yeah, no, you gotta get out in the plains. Can't be in that town. That's gross. Got to get the dirt and the hooves and I don't know what under the hoof nail or whatever it may be.
It's called the frog. I kid you not. It's called the frog.
She's just complaining about how her hooves aren't half as glittery as they usually are because they've been in town for so long.
Oh. Well, they are they're a little wilder than that. So they try to commiserate, but I don't know if they can.
It's literally city horse, country horse, exactly what Eric
Yeah.
was saying.
Yep. Well, there you go. All right. Well, you guys gather up your stuff. You do turn in for the evening.
I will say that I introduce everyone to Zephyros before everyone goes to sleep.
Okay. They are. Yeah. They like him. Like him enough. He's a magic horse. So yeah, they're on board.
I
Gold.
kind of reach up and I like put a hand on the side of his jaw, and I just look at him and go, "Are you gonna talk back to me like the sword did?" Does he do anything or?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Good. And just kind of waddle away.
All right, guys. Well, we are gonna call it a night there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for the raid, for playing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna be back next week with some more Disasters in Danger. Later this week, we've got probably some Diablo, and I believe we have episode 2 of the Archives coming this Thursday. And for our
Yep.
patrons, A to Z Monstrosities will be up sometime this week. So, thank you guys so much. We will hang out. Yes, Meg.
Cody, what are you doing on A to Z this week?
A to Z this week, we are finishing Beholders.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love it, but I hate it. But I love it.
Beholders is where we left off, so I think we have Gazer and Death Tyrant to do. So
That's so rad.
yeah,
God.
yeah,
Death tyrants are terrifying.
yeah, man, yeah. Death Tyrants. If you guys watched season 1, Death Tyrants nearly TPK'd the party, and we had to have some story reasons to slip out of that. So. So yep, we're gonna take that terrifying monster. We're gonna make it a little more terrifying this week on A to Z. So awesome, guys. We're gonna see you guys next time. But until then, be cool.